There's a calm surrender to the rush of day when the heat of a rolling wind can't be turned away. An enchanted moment, and it sees me through. It's enough for this restless warrior just to be with you. And can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best.
On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass. We ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or gossip though.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You dig? And y'all already know what's going down today, bruh. So guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off now. Yeah, okay. Yo, the Lion King, though? I'm going to be honest. I didn't know what I wanted to sing. And truthfully, that was like, I don't know why that song popped up in my head. I don't know. But I said, why not? So, yeah, I just started off with a little, can you feel the love tonight? And can y'all feel the love tonight or today or whenever y'all get the podcast? Can y'all feel it? Oh, yeah, by the way, listen to Pentatonic's version of that song. Oh, my God. It is like, I love them. For those of you who don't know who Pentatonics is, they're a music, they're a singing group. They're an a cappella singing group, and they are freaking amazing. I first heard of them like 3 years ago. I was watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and all of a sudden I heard this group. I'm a harmony head. Like, I love harmony, and I heard them singing, and I was like, yo, who the F is them? And I just been a fan ever since. I've been a fan ever since. They redid "When You Believe," the Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston song. They did "Can You Feel the Love Tonight." They're just the most amazing Christmas Christmas song group. That I mean, like I sound like a little fanboy right now, but like they are amazing. But anyway, how is everybody doing today? It is another unusually warm day late in October for Richmond, Virginia, man. Let me tell y'all something. Global warming is real. I'm being so serious. Global warming is so real because when I was in school, when I was a kid, when I was in school, we ain't wear shorts to school in late October. Not in Virginia. And, you know, and I guess it's cool, whatever, as far as, you know, because I did, like, my son did have on shorts this morning. He had a hoodie on this morning, but barely needed that because I told him, I said, when you get out of school, it's going to be over 70 degrees. The only thing that's getting on my nerves is I keep running into these damn bumblebees so much. I mean, I'm like ready for it to be cold now. But anyway, yes, it is Monday, October 25th. 2000 of the 2-1. Oh, boy. So we are less than a week away from Halloween. What the hell was that? What the hell? That little weak ass scream. No, come on, Brandon. You can do better than that. There we go. That is much more like it. So yes, Halloween is this Sunday coming up, and hopefully all of the little trick-or-treaters will be have a safe, wonderful time. Remember, COVID is still out there. It is still out there, but hopefully it'll be a damn sight better than it was last year, because last year Halloween, as far as trick-or-treating went, was a joke. I mean, honestly, I understand social distance, but damn, like the street, I'm serious. The neighborhood I took my kids in last year, they just had tables set up. Get it? Go on about your business. Here, get your candy, go on about your business. They was like, I don't even care how much you grab. They was like, just go ahead and help yourself. Basically, in a nutshell, I was, get your candy, go on about your business. We ain't coming near you. Nope. But yes, it is almost that time, late in the year, man. I mean, once again, I will say it again. When you are a grown-up, nothing goes faster than time. I'm so serious. Didn't it seem like just yesterday we were just starting 2021, and now we're looking 2022 smack dab in the face. But on another note, it is less than 2 weeks. You know I got to show love to my black and gold family now. Less than 2 weeks. We will be gathering for the big game, Highland Springs versus Verona, on November 5th at Highland Springs. I can't wait to see my classmates. I can't wait to see everybody who I haven't seen in a while catch up. It's going to be fun. My cousin called me a couple days ago. David, y'all know David, friend of the show, told me that he will be down there. Sean told me that he does have off that day, so I mean, goodness gracious, if I just get to spend some time with my road dogs, oh my gosh, that is going to be so much fun. And I have not forgot about the segment of Brandon's funny true stories. I just have to have my boy on the line to tell the rest of them, because he's involved in all of them. I'm talking about Sean, and I really want to do that because it's really going to be funny. Like, if y'all thought that story in regards to Hermitage High School was something, oh my goodness gracious, we have got some shit to tell y'all. But I hope everybody is good. Again, I hope everybody is doing well. So it's been a lot of stuff going on in sports. It definitely has been. So without further ado, folks, let's get to it. Okay, before I get on to the NFL or the NBA, I'd be remiss. I wouldn't be doing my duty as a sports guy if I did not mention the upcoming World Series that is now set up in Major League Baseball. But when I tell y'all I've been out on baseball a large part because of the cheating scandal that the commissioner just let slide, I'm serious. And guess who's back in the World Series? The old cheating ass Houston Astros, and they're going up against the Atlanta Braves. All I'm gonna say is, let's go ATL. I'm gonna be good party cities, H-Town and ATL. But I'm gonna tell you, the American League Championship Series was so damn disgusting to me. I didn't watch it at all. The cheating ass Astros versus the cheating ass Red Sox. I mean, the Astros cheat to win a World Series in 2017. The person who was the brain trust behind the whole scandal, Alex Cora, then gets the job as the Red Sox manager the next year, and lo and behold, the Red Sox win the World Series in 2018. So I didn't watch a bit of it. It's gross. So I'm going to make that short. I'm going to make that sweet. Go Braves. I hope they beat the hell out the Astros. Oh, cheating ass Astros. They just called the Houston ass. That's all. I'm not even going to call them the Stros. That's it. Houston ass. That's all they are to me. Anyway, on to the NF of the L. And we know so much about sports. Don't we? I mean, the beginning of the season, all of the predictions, the prognostications, and all of this, that, and the third. We know so much, don't we? I mean, we just knew that after 7 weeks of football, the top spot in the AFC would be held by the Cincinnati Bengals. We knew that, didn't we? I'll get to that in a second. Starting with the scores, last week, I didn't have Tony on here last week. I will today. Last week, the Thursday night game was Denver at Cleveland, and I said, nope, my Denver Broncos have completely nosedived from a 3-0 start. I said, I ain't picking us no more. I picked Cleveland, trying to be a slick little jinx. That didn't even work, and we lost 17-14 to the Browns. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It was quite disgusting and frustrating to watch because Cleveland was without their starting quarterback. Baker Mayfield didn't play. Case Keenum played.
You suck.
Yeah, remember that guy, Case Keenum, who 3 seasons ago did absolutely nothing for my Broncos as a quarterback? He started for the Browns. They didn't have Nick Chubb. They didn't have Kareem Hunt. They didn't have one of their offensive linemen, and we still lost. I mean, damn.
God damn.
And, you know, I understand that we have really been hit injury-wise, as particularly in the linebacker position. Von Miller then got hurt in the second quarter, didn't return. I expect him to play this coming up game. But Teddy Bridgewater, who y'all remember how hyped I was when we first got him, Teddy Bridgewater is playing just well enough to not get benched. And by that I mean, if you watch that game was pretty much how we've been playing ever since the 3-0 start. It's like we can't do anything. We don't start playing football until the game's damn near over. You know, like we don't get our offense in gear until it's too late. That's what happened against Pittsburgh. That's what happened, well, after the first drive against the Raiders. We just did nothing after that. But that's what happened against Cleveland. And I swear, we got to get Jerry Jeudy back. We really do, because we need somebody else. We need that. We need that burner back. Without Jeudy and Hamler, you know, Cortland Sutton's been stretching the field, but we need our burner back. But anyway, yes, we lost again. We're now 3-4. Yeah. We're kind of sucking right now. Anyway, on to Sunday's games. Washington versus Green Bay. Green Bay won 24-10. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Washington deserved to lose that game. And I'm going to tell you, this is something that's been going on in the NFL this season, and it's driving me up a wall. Call me old school, conservative, whatever. But all of these teams going for it on 4th down, leaving points on the board. I don't get it. I mean, I don't give a damn about what the analytics say. I hate analytics. I think analytics have no room in the world of professional sports, because what I watched Washington do was drive up and down the field on the Packers, and then you would get into a 4th down situation in the red zone, and they're going for it, and they're missing it each time. Now I don't know what rule that is with that, where they ruled that Taylor Heineke had given himself up before he crossed the goal line for that touchdown run. I mean, he didn't slide. I don't know. That's a dumb rule. I mean, that was a clear-cut touchdown that they robbed Washington of, but even then still. Now him Lambeau leaping and it ended up not counting, that was just pretty funny to me. But I remember saying this about a football game earlier this season between the Bears and the Lions. The Lions are driving the ball up and down the field on the Bears, but coming away with no points, because now all of a sudden it's unpopular to try a field goal. Bruh, this was a one, but you would have had a chance, like if at least for 2 of those opportunities you take a field goal, you have a 1-possession game that totally can change the dynamic of the game. It's really driving me nuts with what these teams are doing. Yeah, it's great when it works, but I mean, leaving points on the board is to me, that's just dumb. So the Packers win their 6th straight. Aaron Rodgers, 274, had an Aaron Rodgers day. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you what though, for Washington, everybody, y'all better start giving that man Terry McLaurin some love. That dude is special. The receiver for Washington from Ohio State, 3rd year, Terry McLaurin. This dude can straight up play. Next game was supposed to be a big game. The Chiefs at the Titans. Well, I don't know what's going on with Kansas City, bro. That's why I said we know football so well. We can just call it. We know it so well. Tennessee backhanded Kansas City, 27-3. A Patrick Mahomes-led offense scored 3 points, and he got hurt at the end. It was an ugly hit, too. Caught a knee to the head. As soon as I saw it, I said, oh, ow. At least he wasn't concussed, though. But, and the thing is, Derrick Henry didn't go off and have a Derrick Henry day. He had, like 86 yards, but he threw for a touchdown pass. Ain't that some shit? Derrick Henry threw for a touchdown. Derrick Henry had more touchdown passes yesterday than Patrick Mahomes. Think about that. And think about it. It was 27-0 at halftime. So the Titans didn't score in the second half of the game. And Kansas City is just that out of it right now. Like I said, I don't feel bad for them. They're in my division. They're sucking like we are. I mean, hell, at least we put up more than 3 points. But the Chiefs are now 3-4. The Titans are now 5-2. The Atlanta Falcons defeated the Miami Dolphins 30-28 on a last-second field goal by Younghoe Koo. You know, I feel so bad for Tua right now because since he's come back from injury, which was last week against Jacksonville in the game in London, he's played really well, and they've still lost. They've lost both games on last-second field goals. I really, really feel bad for him because all you're hearing is Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson. Yo, I'm happy with how professional Tua is being, but like, behind closed doors, I would be like the whole management staff of the Dolphins. They would be getting a middle finger from me right now, honestly. And the Dolphins, I mean, what can you do? Their season is over. They're 1-6. They're done. They're done. I'm not gonna say look out for the Falcons yet because every time I do that, they totally kick me in the face. But Kyle Pitts is starting to get it. Kyle Pitts is starting to get it. Dude is so gifted. Jets at Patriots. Surprise. The Jets got their asses handed to them by the Patriots 54-13. I don't remember New England putting up 50 burgers with Tom Brady. But it's the Jets, man. It's the Jets. Mac Jones had 307 yards. They're starting to take the training wheels off of Mac Jones. That's what I'm noticing. Now, I will say this. Look out for the Patriots. Watch out for the Patriots going forward. I know they're 3-4 right now, but look out for them. Next game, another 3-0 team that is completely nosedive is the Carolina Panthers as they lost to the Giants 25-3. Interestingly enough, I actually, in a state of inebriation, I was on FanDuel and I picked the Giants defense. Who knew? That's all I can say. I mean, who knew? So the Giants are now 2-5. Whoopie. Now, the battle for first place in the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. Remember how Baltimore just biatch slapped the Chargers last week to improve to 5-1? Wouldn't you know that Cincinnati, the Bengals, went into Baltimore and biatch slapped the Ravens 41-17. Again, we know so much about sports. We all knew that after 7 weeks of NFL football, that the number one spot in the AFC, would be held by the now 5-2 Cincinnati Bengals. We knew that, right?
Excellent.
Hey, of course I did not predict that, but I've been saying this for the last about 3-4 weeks. I said the Bengals are ahead of schedule. I said this. No, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I said it reminded me of 10 years ago when Carson Palmer demanded out, wouldn't come play. They ended up drafting Andy Dalton, A.J. Green. It was supposed to be a rebuild year, and the Bengals ended up going to the playoffs for the next 5 years in a row. They were ahead of schedule. This feels like that all over again. The Bengals are ahead of schedule. Joe Burrow I'm convinced now with Joe Burrow. I remember all of the hype that was coming on him last year. I'm like, good Lord, he had one very spectacular year in college, but I'm like, I mean, can he throw an NFL pass before you coronate him the next great quarterback? No, Joe Burrow is that dude. Jamar Chase. Remember in preseason, people said Jamar Chase forgot how to catch? Jamar Chase is going to win Rookie of the Year. Dude had 201 receiving yards yesterday. And look, Marlon Humphreys is a damn good quarterback. He's a damn good cornerback. And Jamar Chase took him to the woodshed. That dude is special. Now you see why Joe Burrow said, no, you got to get me my guy from college instead of an offensive lineman. Looking kind of good right now. The Bengals are for real. They're legit. Late games, Philadelphia Eagles at the Vegas Raiders. You know, I got to give the Raiders a lot of credit as they won this game 33-22, and my Eagles are free falling again. Jalen Hurts has got to improve on so much. He really does. But I got to give the Raiders credit. They are proving to be a very mentally tough team amidst everything that has gone on in the last couple of weeks with them regarding their now former coach, John Gruden, and all of those emails that have been recovered. But they have come out and they have just they've let it fly. It's almost as if it's galvanized them in a way. I don't remember the name of their coach off the top of the head, their coach now. But the Raiders are playing ball. The only thing I'll say is we've seen this from them the last 2 seasons where they play great, and I said this at the beginning of the season. I said the Raiders will be good until Thanksgiving. Well, we're a month away from Thanksgiving, but we shall see. They're part of that 5-2 logjam that's at the top of the AFC right now, but they are proving to be a very, very mentally tough team. I can't even front. I have to take my hat off to them. Derek Carr. I picked Derek Carr on my fantasy squad yesterday. I sure did. I really did. I picked Waller, then his ass got hurt, and he couldn't. I mean, he didn't even play yesterday. But I have to be honest. Raiders have impressed me the last couple of weeks, even if last week it was at my team's expense. Detroit at the Rams, the revenge game for Jared Goff, going back to the Rams, going back to LA, and saying, "How dare you trade me? I took you to a Super Bowl, Sean McVay, you bastard! How dare you do that?" In this game, the Rams won 28-19, but this game, it went how I thought it was going to go. I mean, I didn't think that the Rams were going to win by 30. I didn't, because I thought that Detroit, while they're winless, they're still winless. They've just had some bad luck at the end of a couple of games. But I thought that the Lions would rally around Matthew Stafford, and they were letting it out. Onside kicks, fake punts. I don't blame them. And it was a good competitive game, but at the end of the day, talent for talent, it's not many in the NFL that can match what the Rams have. So the Rams are now 6-1. Another revenge game, if you will. The Houston Texans at Arizona. Former Texans, now Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt. They got to go up against their old team. Nuke Hopkins had a touchdown pass. He caught a touchdown pass. J.J. Watt had a sack. J.J. Watt he's played great. He's been rejuvenated since going to the Cardinals. And they won. They had a slow start as well, too, but they ended up winning going away 31-5. Houston scored 5 points. Yeah, Houston scored 5. I mean, like, I know the Panthers scored 3 and the Chiefs scored 3, and I know 5 is more than 3, but 5 just sounds like embarrassing. It does. I almost would rather score 3. I don't know why, but in NFL terms, scoring 5 points just sounds really bad. It really does. The Cardinals are now 7-0. You got to start taking this team seriously if you haven't already. You know, I know people still want to say Tampa's better, and then of course, the Dallas contingent, gross. They want to say, well, no, they're the best team. Look, Arizona they've got it at every facet of the game. Their defense is strong. Their offense is awesome. I mean, their offense can stand up to anybody. And Kyler Murray should be, I know people want to give it to Tom Brady, but Kyler Murray should be the front runner right now, just in my opinion. He should be the front runner for the MVP race, not Brady, because I've seen Brady lose this year. I have not seen Kyler Murray lose yet. Tampa Bay has a humongously weak schedule. So Brady, and maybe Brady will end up winning MVP, but Tampa Bay has their schedule is garbage. I mean, they have easy team after easy team. If Tampa finishes 15-2, would it surprise anybody if you look at their schedule? And like I said, I'm not knocking Tom Brady at all, but the Cardinals are in the best division in football. Well, right now you probably have to say, by the numbers, the best division in football looks like the AFC North. But come on now, we all know what the AFC West is. We all have expectations of what the AFC West is. And they're undefeated. You know what I mean? They blew out the Rams, the team that blew out the Bucks. And the team that beat the Bucks, the team that beat the Cowboys. So that has to be something. That has to mean something. Now, speaking of the Bucks, Tom Brady threw his 600 touchdown pass. When you play a million years, you should be able to reach that milestone and play at a high level. Congratulations, Tom Brady. They beat the Bucks 38-3. Now, here's a funny thing about that. He threw the touchdown pass to Mike Evans, And Mike Evans, I guess not being aware that was the 600th career touchdown pass for Brady, gave the football away to a fan. And then once, everybody was like, wait a minute, that was a 600th touchdown pass. Get it back from the fan. They asked for the ball back, and the fan gave it to him. Are you joking?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Man, look, good for Tom Brady, but do you understand the bargaining power that you now have? Look, whenever and look, the fan didn't ask Mike Evans to give him the ball. Whenever you have a milestone achievement, a piece of a milestone achievement, I'm sorry, bruh, that ball would have been up for ransom. Let me had it got that football and told him, hey, that's Tom Brady's 600th career touchdown pass. Can we have the ball back? And name your, what's the price? I'm sorry. Look, you got to realize when you have a lottery ticket right there in your hand, when you have a winning lottery ticket right there in your hand, you catch somebody's 500 or 600th home run ball, a legendary player, no. Or you catch a legendary quarterback's, I guess, 500, now 600 career touchdown pass. No, man, you ain't getting that back, not without proper compensation. And what they said they were going to give the fan was jerseys or helmets. I don't want that. I can order that offline. I can go to the store to get it. No, bruh. I don't care if it's for Tom Brady's personal trophy case or if it's going to the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. How much? Because I ain't coming up off this without me coming up seriously on the financial game. You have to understand, when you have a game changer in your hand, I'm for real. When I saw that fan get that ball back, I said, what?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Exactly. That's the first thing that came to my head. Like, you must be crazy. But anyway, the Buccaneers now improved to 6-1. The Sunday night game was the Indianapolis Colts at the San Francisco 49ers, and it was a sloppy weather game. And the Colts in the second half came out and handled their business. And that's another team. Be careful. Watch out for them. Watch out for the Indianapolis Colts. They appear to be getting it together. Carson Wentz is playing some good football now. They beat the 49ers 30-18. And look, we have got to start keeping it real when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. I don't care if it's Jimmy Garoppolo or I don't care if it's Trey Lance being the quarterback. We have got to start looking at Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, because they have gotten so much praise and accolades and excuses made for them. Like last year with all of the injuries, being a COVID year, they got a lot of excuses. But Kyle Shanahan is his fifth season as 49ers head coach? Something along that lines. He got there in 2017. So outside of the 2019 season where the 49ers went to the Super Bowl, it hasn't been good. I mean, outside of that 1 year in 2019, his record is below 500, well below 500. I mean, you got to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, you damn near won it. But that doesn't change the fact that your results have not been what they should be. They haven't. You have to start looking at Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch because, and here's the thing about it, everybody's saying how Garoppolo is not the guy. With Garoppolo, Kyle Shanahan's record is 24-11, and it's well below 500 when he doesn't play. So the guy that everybody keeps saying, well, he's not the guy, is the guy that actually Kyle Shanahan wins with, but hasn't done a good job. They have not done a good job outside of the 2019 season, and it needs to be said. And I said this season, when I said that I believed that possibly the NFC West is so good that you could have all four teams make it. I did not predict that, but I said if there's a team from the NFC West who will be left out of the playoff hunt, it will be the San Francisco 49ers. Because I still believe, now, it's not looking good for Seattle right now, but if Russell Wilson comes back and there's still a bit of time and they get hot, I'll put my faith more in Seattle making the playoffs than the 49ers. Arizona and the Rams, they're going to be in there. They're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be there. But I would, if I'm 49ers ownership, I'm starting to look at head coach, general manager, saying, what's up, y'all? You know, that seat needs to get a little warm for Kyle Shanahan. And, of course, tonight is the Monday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks. They're hosting the New Orleans Saints. Like I said, Russell Wilson's not playing. Geno Smith is. Geno Smith hasn't played bad. you just can't depend on them when it counts most. I think the Saints are going to win that game. And matter of fact, I think the Saints will win that game, and then they have a big game next week. I'll get into that once Tony is on the line. And that time is now. Got my man here. He had the week off last week, if you will. He thought I was in self-exile, I guess maybe because of my Broncos performance or his Cowboys performance. But no. You know me, I ain't running. I don't duck nobody. I don't duck nothing. If you listen to the show, I've had messages for the Cowboy fans. This is actually becoming quite funny to me. But he's here. What up, bro?
Yo, what's going on?
Ain't nothing much. Most wonderful time of the year. What up?
I did your Stephen A. impression, though. Your Stephen A. Smith impression. When the Cowboys win, it's because we play sorry opponents. If the Cowboys lose, when those other teams, when those good teams like, I don't know, the Cardinals and teams that he likes to ride their proverbial dick, when they win against terrible teams like Houston, they just the gods of the NFL. Stop it.
Well,
you play who's on your schedule, and every good team out there is gonna play them bad teams, and it doesn't. They're winning by this margin or that margin, or just winning altogether. It's just another game. You gotta play who's on your schedule, and that's it.
Well, I'm not doing a Stephen A. Smith impersonation, but I'm not. Look, you beat the teams that you beat. I agree 100%. Play who's on your. Look at my team. We had probably the 3 worst teams in the NFL to begin the season with, and we won. Now, since our level of competition has improved, we've floundered. So, no, I'm not pulling that card. Y'all been winning. You've been winning. I don't take that away. But what was your biggest takeaway from this past week?
I don't know that I actually have that takeaway this week. I will say this. There's some really bad teams in the league, but then there's a lot of banged up teams out there. There's a lot of talent that's not being on display because these guys are out hurt. I don't know what to make of this weekend. I actually, had I been allowed to, pick, had I been in that pool last week, I would have picked Baltimore to lose.
Okay.
No.
Funny because I want to discuss that, but go ahead.
I think the Lamar Jackson heroics can only carry you but so far. It has been proven before. You can go all the way back to Randall, Michael Vick. It's that only carries you, but so far, at some point, you gotta the complete team performance around that dude has to coalesce, gel, and rise in order to make up for just that general deficiency type thing. And this is no knock on him at all, but it just hasn't happened.
Well, you can say the same thing about Patrick Mahomes.
You can. And that's a whole different thing, but we predicted that. We didn't predict that their offense would necessarily be struggling, except for the fact that their offensive line is doo-doo right now. But the defensive side of the ball, we knew that pretty much, if you could score, you could hang with Kansas City because their defense is terrible.
My takeaway from that game was Derrick Henry had more touchdown passes than Patrick Mahomes yesterday.
Yep. And the other thing that we discovered is, even though you and I picked this, and we may yet be right, but I just don't see it. The AFC West is not head and shoulders above any division. They're not.
No, they're not. Actually, I'd have to say right now the AFC North is the creme de la creme of the AFC.
Right. So, take that for what it's worth. But, again, those teams, and it still may be that they produce 3 playoff teams. I just don't see it right now, though.
It's getting kind of hard to see it, too. And if there is 3 playoff teams coming from the AFC West, it's painfully starting to look like my team is going to be the odd team out. But then again, I said this earlier on the show, I complimented the Raiders on their mental toughness, given everything that they've been going through with John Gruden. But also, I fair warn any Raiders fan that listens to this, the last couple of years, you guys have played great football until Thanksgiving. Once Thanksgiving passes, that's when you kind of nosedive. So maybe this year is different. Maybe it's not.
They play us on Thanksgiving, so there's that.
Oh, they play y'all on Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll say this about Derek Carr yesterday. That was, and I'm 50.
That's going to be a good
I've
game.
seen a lot of quarterback performances just in general. Yesterday, that was almost perfect.
Yeah.
Like, in my lifetime, that was as close to perfect, a perfect quarterback performance. There have been clearly more impactful quarterback performances, but just for a regular season game, that was almost perfect.
Yeah, and now that should be Raiders and Cowboys should be a very good game on Thanksgiving. I mean, was Vegas is by themselves right now in first place. So and if
Jacobs isn't healthy, we'll smash them. If they don't have a running game, we will smash them.
They'll need Waller too, though.
Yeah, they'll need something, but
their defense is low key okay though. Like their defense is definitely like both of y'all teams' defense has definitely improved from last year, because really that was the Raiders' Achilles heel in the the second half of the season too, was their defense. They couldn't stop anybody, and that seems to have turned the corner. That seems to have turned the corner for both of y'all teams. Now, when it comes to the AFC, this is why we pick sports, dude, because we know it all. Didn't we both predict that after 7 weeks, the top of the AFC would be the Bengals? Didn't we say that was gonna happen?
Yeah, we did. Not really, but yeah.
Well, but remember, I had been saying this for about the last 3 weeks, about the last 3-4 weeks. I said the Bengals were ahead of schedule.
We did agree that if the quarterback was healthy, that the Bengals would make noise, though. We didn't necessarily predict that them as a team would be where they were, but we did predict that if the quarterback was healthy, that they would be a tough.
Yeah, because they're ahead of schedule. They have all of the components, offensively at least, that you need. You have a quarterback who's playing well. Now, all of a sudden, because of what Burrow is doing now, now there's the comparison. Well, who would you take? Would you take Joe Burrow? Would you take Justin Herbert? To me, that's a pick 'em. Of course, Jamar Chase. Good Lord. Jamar Chase. Marlon Humphreys is a all-pro cornerback, and he ate him for breakfast.
Yeah, well, that was a really good performance. He had one really long catch that padded them stats, but to do that with an all-pro corner, and I do think that dude was he didn't play him the right way. Like, Chase is not one of them dudes that you, first of all, trying to out-physical him at the line of scrimmage probably was a mistake.
Yeah.
It probably was a mistake from the gate. That style of defense versus him, you kind of want to give him a little cushion, but they didn't play him that way, and so it is what it is.
But he's showing why he's making Joe Burrow look like a genius, because remember, they had the number 5 pick, and every consensus was saying, grab a lineman, you have to protect Burrow, he's already injured. But Joe Burrow himself said, no, you got to get me Jamar Chase. You got to get me my guy from college, because remember, Jamar Chase didn't play last season. He opted out because of the COVID. Here's a dude where if he was eligible for the draft, would have been the first receiver taken off the board last year, because of the way he played in the 2019 season, when Burrow was the quarterback. But remember at the beginning of preseason, everybody said he forgot how to catch, and he was having the dropsies, and he looked like he might be a bust. Man, they need to hand that dude the offensive rookie of the year trophy now.
I don't know about that. There's still a lot of football to be played. But what I will say is this: okay, they got a little film on him now. They're going to start bracketing him. His numbers are really, really good, and not just as a rookie, as a wide receiver, because he's kind of the Devontae Adams. What Devontae Adams is to the Packers, he's that to Joe. And,
But they have better.
He's
But
gonna get the majority of those things, but because they do have a running game and some other stuff,
and they have other receivers now. Tyler Boyd is Tyler Boyd ain't chopped liver.
right.
And then T. Higgins, that's another first-round draft pick that came from Clemson the year before. So I understand the Devontae Adams comparison, but as opposed to Green Bay, and I'm glad that Aaron Rodgers started realizing that he has other receivers, like seeing Lazard get off yesterday. But Cincinnati's complementary receivers are better, than the Packers. Jamar Chase is just a effing beast. I mean, honestly, like I said, this is why they're ahead of schedule, because like you said, they have a running game. They have, they go 3-4 wide receivers deep. You have what he's right now. You have to call him an elite number one receiver. You have to, rookie or no rookie. I mean, he's on pace to break the rookie record, which was just set last year by Jefferson from Minnesota with 1,400. But Cincinnati, like, they're legit. You have to take them seriously. And this was, they were calling this game. This is the game you have to win. Remember, they said that a couple of weeks ago when they played Green Bay and nobody could make a field goal. Well, they didn't just beat the Ravens. They beat the shit out of the Ravens in Baltimore. And I believe you when you say you would have picked Cincinnati to win this game, but Baltimore was flying so high after what they did to the Chargers when they were starting to feel themselves. So I think, like I said, this just reminds me of 10 years ago when, they drafted Dalton and A.J. Green and they ended up going to the playoffs 5 straight years. They were totally ahead of schedule, but this team they're legit. They're legit. And I don't think any less of the Ravens. They will be there when it's time to play football in January. But like you said, the heroics of Lamar can only take you but so far. But what do you have to say about the Kansas City Chiefs?
The same thing I said. The one, offensive line. I don't care what quarterback you are, what caliber quarterback you are, what kind of running back you got. If your offensive line is doo-doo, then your offense is going to be doo-doo. Kansas City, the threat with them was always being able to hang 40 burgers on people. No lead is safe with Kansas City, because even the past couple of years, they play teams, they get behind. They get 3 touchdowns behind, and you turn away from it thinking the game's over, and you still got a whole quarter to play.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they up 10.
Yeah.
That no longer is the case. They're on the defensive side of the ball. They're terrible. Like they terrible. They're terrible.
That's all you can say.
No ways about it.
That's all you can say.
Like I would have confidence that the Jaguars could score 35 on them.
Damn.
They just terrible. So that being said, if you can't hang 40 on people like that confidently anymore, and you giving up 40, you're going to be right where the Chiefs are. And I don't know why this dramatic. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But right now, they're my pick to be the odd man out, the one that you would have never thought would be on the outside looking in. They're my pick to be the odd man out because of teams like the aforementioned Cincinnati Bengals. Because I have confidence, belief that the Patriots in the AFC potentially would have a better chance of making a playoffs than the Chiefs.
It's funny that you said that, because when I was going over the scores, I did say, look out for the Patriots. I said, I know they're 3-4, but looking at their schedule, watch out for them and watch out for the Colts too. So particularly the Colts, because it looks like they're about to put it together. And matter of fact, that kind of segues into the next question I wanted to ask you. 49ers, what's your thoughts?
They need to, when Trey Lance is healthy, they need to find out what they got there and go ahead and play him and not think playoffs. Because they're not a contender. They're not even really a playoff quality team at this point. Closer, that's huge. That's huge. Now, they could very well end up being that, but right now, I don't know. I just don't get that vibe from them. I just think that, go ahead and play Trey Lance. See what you got there and see what you need to move, because that's actually what they're missing. That running back and the quarterback, and they are a playoff team. They have enough pieces, they got enough components that they're a playoff team, but injuries is a thing with them, and I don't know what to make of them. Like honestly, I don't know what to make of them. In comparison with all the other NFC teams, just in general, I don't know what to. They're clearly above the people in my division, for instance, the Giants, the Washington football team, and all that. But I don't believe if they played us, the Packers, in any team like that, like Seattle, I just don't think they're there.
I said this earlier on the show. It's time to start looking. I've said this to you before. It's time to start looking at Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, because Kyle Shanahan's been the coach since 2017, and outside of 2019, the year they went to the Super Bowl, they've been a losing football team. We have to call a spade a spade. Doesn't mean that they're not talented. They're immensely talented, but you haven't gotten what you thought you were going to get from Ayuk. I understand Garoppolo. You think Garoppolo may not be your guy, but for whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan's record is 13 games over 500 when Garoppolo plays, and he's about 6 or 7 games under when he doesn't. I'm not saying that he's not a good coach, but that seat needs to warm up, because in their last 11 home games, they're 1-10. Did you know that? Yeah. And you're in what everybody crowns as the best division in football, and you were actually seen as one of the teams that were going to come out at least for a playoff spot coming into this year. Now, look, injuries always happen. It's a part of the game. You have to fight through it. Look at Baltimore. I know Baltimore just got housed yesterday, but look at Baltimore. Look at what they had to go through before the season even started. If Baltimore's record was 2-5 instead of 5-2, what could you really say? They've been killed by the injury bug, but you have to continue to fight through it. Now, I understand they have an otherworldly talent at quarterback, and thankfully he's healthy. But if you're Kyle Shanahan, or if you're 49ers ownership, you have to look at Kyle Shanahan outside of 1 year where you damn near won the Super Bowl. But other than that, you can't always use injuries as an excuse, because it's football. It's always going to happen. And the fact is that 2017, 2018, 2020, and now 2021, they've been bad. They've been a bad football team. What do you think?
I have to agree. I don't know that they're bad. As I said, I believe they're above the bottom barrel.
Their results have been bad. That's what I mean.
The results have been bad, yeah. But yeah, I can't argue that point.
Yes, I believe that they would, if you play them against Washington or New York or Philadelphia or Chicago or Detroit or I would throw Carolina in that mix too, because they've nosedived too. Yeah, they're gonna beat those teams, but as far
find ways to lose. They're one of those teams because let's flash back to early in the season when they were playing the Eagles, one of those aforementioned bottom teams.
Yeah. And
literally, they tried everything in their power to give Philly that game, and then they finally at the end said, "Oh, you don't want to? All right, fine, we'll go ahead and take the W."
Yeah, because honestly, Philadelphia gave them that game first, and then San Francisco tried to give it back. But honestly, if I was to put San Francisco versus an Atlanta, not trying to be funny, I'd probably have to take Atlanta. If I were to put them against New Orleans, I would have to take New Orleans. If I put them against Minnesota, I would have to take Minnesota right now. These are like those middle of the pack teams. And it's like, for as much, they get so many accolades, but the injuries and stuff, like I said, look, it's gonna happen. You got to fight through it. You do. And the fact is that outside of 2019, the 49ers results, they have a very talented football team when healthy, but their results they haven't been there. And I think you have to look at Kyle Shanahan, and you have to look at John Lynch too.
Yeah, it might be time for a change.
Because let's assume that the 49ers don't make the playoffs this year. I think Kyle Shanahan should be on the hot seat for next year. I just do.
But you know what though? To be fair, if you're talking that in terms of let's move to another team in the same division, Pete Carroll is kind of, what's the difference?
The difference is Pete Carroll has been in the playoffs every year, all but once, since Russell Wilson has been their quarterback. They've made the playoffs every year with the exception of 1 year. That's it. With the exception of, I think,
that's the standard now. Just make the playoffs.
Well, and Pete Carroll has a Super Bowl ring. Kyle Shanahan ain't got that.
Well, okay. To be fair, yeah, he got that. But again, you're sticking with the same formula. Russ is ready to bolt. So clearly there's some disconnect there. It's not all pieces and cream. Like, yeah, we made the playoffs, and I'm content where I am. There's talk that Russell Wilson made the bad to trade it this offseason.
Well, see, and this is where I have to put Russell Wilson's feet to the fire too. You know, Russell Wilson. He is an elite quarterback, but I understand about the value of protection. How much money are you going to put in that offense? You have to realize your defense sucks. Your defense is trash. The team that won the Super Bowl was built off of the defense. Now, I agree, let Russ cook and all that other shit, but you know, the defense now outside of Jamal Adams, they stink. They stink. See, Seattle and Kansas City's defense is neck and neck for sorriest outside of the Detroit Lions. And I even give Detroit more effort on defense. But Seattle's defense stinks. And Russell Wilson Russell Wilson may need to play some Tom Brady ball and let this money be dished out where it needs to go. Because I understand Russell. I honestly don't think Russell wanted to get traded. I think that he was trying to flex and he was bluffing and he got his wish. But at what cost? Because now, if you don't go out there and put up 40 points every game, you're probably going to lose because your defense can't stop a sink of running water.
Right.
But like I said, where the difference is with Pete Carroll and Kyle Shanahan, one, Pete Carroll has a Super Bowl ring. He's been to 2. He goes to the playoffs consistently every year. Hasn't been no problem with him finding a franchise quarterback. You'd still, like you said, you don't know what you have with Trey Lance yet. You thought it was Garoppolo. You don't think it is, even though the record would say otherwise. But you obviously don't think you have a franchise quarterback. Otherwise, you wouldn't have drafted Trey Lance 3rd overall. So there are a lot of differences between Kyle Shanahan and Pete Carroll.
When you break it down like that, yeah, you might be right. I think that I don't know. I think there's a lot of variables going on with San Francisco, and I don't know that it literally it just boils down to the coach and the GM. Because a lot of people had him high.
Yeah, and he's done nothing. He's done nothing. He's done nothing. You should, honestly, for all of that, you should have kept Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
And now, if it's one thing that I will hold, like I said, I have to hold Pete Carroll is as responsible as Russell Wilson is. Pete Carroll is supposed to be a defensive guy. Why is your defense this sorry? You know, so if there's something that I would say to Pete Carroll, like, dude, your MO is defense, and what the hell? You know,
yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah, they're terrible.
yeah, they're awful, and I think they're gonna lose tonight. I think they're gonna lose tonight.
Yeah, but you know what? They play the Aints, right?
I'm not gonna call them that. because I'm not gonna disrespect New Orleans like that.
Because they're vaunted. See, their bellwether is not the offense either. Their bellwether is defense, and they ain't been playing particularly, great on that side of the ball either.
Yeah, but they haven't been awful.
Nah, they haven't been awful, but they haven't been great.
Actually, I think their questions have been more of the offense. Because remember, we talked about this before. They got pretty much right until Michael Thomas comes back. What are you working with? Kamara?
Well, yeah, that too. But see, this is where when you look back and say having Drew Brees, having guys like that, a dude that's even close to that level that got command of offense. Your offense can trot up and down the field or hold that time of possession in their case because they had running game. Makes a big difference with their defense. A terrible defense or even an average defense will look above average if they're on the sideline getting, breathers. A lot of breathers because your offense is just dominating that.
Well, I think I'm going to tell you what. We're going to find out a lot about the Saints defense next week because they got Tampa next week. And I think the Saints defense I think they're a top 5 defense. I think they may have lost a little too much on the offensive side of the ball. They're another team. I'm asking, why did you let Emmanuel Sanders go? I don't know. It's just because it just seems like every team that he goes to is a top flight squad. But I have more respect for the Saints. I think the Saints are going to be one of the wild card teams. I do have them making the playoffs.
Yeah, I could see that. It's murky down in the bottom half of NFC. It is murky. At this point in the season, it's still murky as hell. We know who the cellar dwellers are, but those right on the outside or the bottom.
Yeah, Saints, Vikings. Yeah, Saints, Vikings, Falcons. I guess right now you'd have to say Seattle. They're kind of like touch and go. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but we shall see.
I mean, we know 5 of the 7 teams that'll be up in there. We know that. We know Cardinals, Rams, Cowboys, Packers, Bucks. We know they'll be there. It's really
it's
more or
the
less
4 division winners, and then that one extra.
3 wild cards now.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I have my ranking in the NFC as far as right now, how I see it as far as best teams, as Arizona, Rams, Bucks, Cowboys, Packers. To me, those are the top 5s. Now, you may want to disagree because of the Dallas thing. It's just how I see it. At first, I had the Packers over the Cowboys, but after this past Sunday's game, if anybody wanted to put the Cowboys over the Packers, you get no argument from me. But as far as rankings, I would have Arizona 1. They're undefeated. It is what it is. The Rams, look, they beat the Bucks. The Bucks, they beat the Cowboys. I just have it like that. Packers have won 6 straight. They've been a little touch and go. Like, to me, Washington handed that game to Green Bay on a silver platter. It's the thing that's going on in the league now that's driving me up the damn wall. I talked about this earlier. This need to have to continuously go for it on 4th down and leave points on the board. I mean, that's the second game this season that I can say I saw a team move up and down the field all game but come away with nothing because when they get in the red zone, now all of a sudden it's uncool to take a field goal, and that actually ends up being the difference in a lot of these games. It happened with Detroit when they played Chicago a few weeks ago. They're going up and down the field on the Bears, but going forward on 4th down when you're at the 10-yard line, you take a couple field goals, then when you start scoring touchdowns, you're still behind by like 6 or 9 points. Duh. That's what happened with Washington yesterday with Green Bay. So Green Bay didn't impress me yesterday, but I mean, they're 6-1. It is what it is. I don't know how you would see the rankings as far as the NFC. Let me know.
Okay, I'll say this about the 4th and 1 thing because the Patriots shouldn't even been in the game. 4th and 1s kept them in the game.
Right.
Well, 4th and 1. I'm looking. First quarter. What? Our first possession, we get a 4th and 1, and we're at our own 32-yard line, and McCarthy says, "Let's go for it." Why? It's the first quarter.
Right.
It's your first drive.
Right.
So there's that, and the other thing about that particular game, I'll never understand the third down with Dak laying in the end zone underneath the pile, curled up in the end zone with the ball.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. But okay. I mean, you know what? Out of all of that stuff, you won the game. Zeke needs to shut up. It's about the referees. You won the game.
But in terms of the rankings, offensively, I'll say this: no one can stop us but us. That's it. Connor Williams, watch number 52. The rest of this year. No, again, in the Patriots game, how many holding calls did he get? 4, 5? Like, come on, man. No one can stop us but us offensively. That's why a lot of these teams that don't have defenses or have defenses, they don't worry. Because whether we gotta go to the air, we can do that. If we're not going to the air, then we're going to keep it on the ground, which is infinitely better. Which almost, I feel confident in those type of games. So I'm not worried about any of the teams you named from stopping us offensively. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm gonna disagree with you. Our defense, yardage, and all that stuff is really fundamentally no better than last year.
No, you're opportunistic.
We get turnovers.
Yeah, you're opportunistic.
And we're getting sacks. That makes all the difference.
Yeah.
We've seen teams like that where they'll give up tons of yards in between them 20s. But when you get to the end zone, they keep you off the scoreboard, or they're a defense opportunistic that forces a lot of turnovers.
I mean, make no mistake. Now, see, the idiotic Cowboy fans, which I've ran into, who actually claims they have a lockdown defense, is laughable. No, you don't have a lockdown defense. You have a much improved defense from last year, yes, but you have an opportunistic defense. Look, New England still hung up almost 30. Carolina threw up 28 points. They've been, Tampa Bay scored over 30. So you're opportunistic. There's nothing wrong with an opportunistic defense. My back-to-back Super Bowl champion Broncos teams, they weren't a lockdown defense. They were opportunistic. So it's nothing wrong with being an opportunistic defense, but don't get it twisted. You're not locked down. Now, you may have the defensive player of the year on the side of the ball with Trevon Diggs, but I mean, there's still points to be had. Offense, yeah, absolutely. I rank y'all right up there with anybody. Defense, like I said, you're opportunistic, but but like I said, I have y'all fourth.
Here's your upside to that, and I'm gonna disagree with Mr. Stephen A. Smith, who has this view of Trayvon. He kind of tried to roast Trayvon Diggs after the Patriots game. So yeah, you got the pick six and the turnaround gave up 75 yards. This is what happens when you got somebody that's never played a down of football as an analyst. Anybody that's ever played the game, or even as a student of the game, recognizes, yeah, Trayvon Diggs did attempt to undercut that pass. He gives up a lot of yards because he does big quarterbacks. But he did try to undercut that pass, but that was DeMonte Casey, the safeties.
Yeah, the safety that just got arrested. Yeah, he's the one that blew it on that play.
Right, he blew the coverage. It shouldn't have been a touchdown.
No.
It should have been a completed pass, no touchdown.
Yeah.
But, what do I know? I'm just an armchair analyst, so, but it is what it is. We're getting reinforcements on the defense. DeMarcus Lawrence is coming back within the next couple weeks. Neville Gallimore, those are two starters. D tackle. That's where we need help. We need help on that pass rush. Shout out to Randy Gregory, because he literally took Mac Jones' soul, and shout out to Mac Jones for surviving that hit.
Mac Jones looked good yesterday, albeit against the Jets. Look out for the Patriots. I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah, I think that he'll be a really good quarterback, and I say it with the caveat, he will be the upper echelon of bus driver type quarterback. And
right, game manager, right,
because
exactly.
Those type of quarterbacks win you Super Bowls.
Yeah,
they don't make a lot of mistakes. They just do what's asked of them.
Look. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Tom Brady is the best game manager in football. So when they say, hey, Tom Brady, I'm not saying that Tom Brady is not a great all-time great quarterback, but Tom Brady is the best game manager in football. He has a stacked roster. And he has and honestly, because look, Tom Brady looks great. He wouldn't be doing this if he was a quarterback of the Lions or if he was a quarterback of Jacksonville. You stack in the deck. Good for him. Mac Jones is gonna do. They're handling Mac Jones the way they handled Brady in the first 3 Super Bowls. This was Mac Jones is doing what Brady was doing the first 3 Super Bowls. Now, Super Bowls 4, 5, and 6, the ones which they didn't cheat. Brady was asked to do more. So yeah, I agree with you. Mac Jones is going to be an A-level bus driver.
Yeah, it's that always was a thing with New England's system, and that's what they draft for. They bypass people in the draft, they trade back in the draft, but they look for system guys. If you don't fit their system, you up out of there. Once they find that out,
hell yeah.
Trade bait. And that's literally what Mac Jones will end up being in terms of doing the cheat. I'm one of them people that fine. You got a spy sitting there and watching the practice. That's fine. You see enough tape on these NFL teams every single game to create a cheat tape technically off of that. Go out and stop it. That's the key. That you saw it, now go stop it. Or stop us. Watch us and then stop us with your spy. That's all I really say about that. Yeah, I mean the other stuff, nobody cares. Even the Deflategate thing, nobody cares.
Oh
Why?
no, the Deflategate was
the ref had the ball in his hand. Multiple umps had the ball, and they didn't notice any difference in the ball size wise. So it didn't give him that much of an advantage.
No, Deflategate to me was a joke. Deflategate to me was a joke.
Yeah, just stop them. Like, I'm sure there's a whole lot of NFL teams, sports teams that spy on other teams. They just don't get caught doing it. Is it by the letter of the law cheating? Yeah, but so what? Like, stop them anyway. You saw it, stop them.
Well, look, I don't respect those first 3 Super Bowls for the Patriots. I get what you're saying, but cheating ass bitches. But anyway, hey, let's pick our games for next week. Thursday night, we got a beauty. We got 6-1 versus 7-0. Green Bay at Arizona. Who you going with?
See, all on paper sensibility says Arizona. But good, and losing a lot of money to games, with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Says they're going to be in that game, and if it comes down to it in a close game and Aaron Rodgers gets that ball, I believe that I'm going to take the Packers in this one. I'm going to take this will tell me a lot. Well, this will tell us a lot about Arizona because Green Bay has those two things. They have a really good offensive line, but they have a really good running back, so they got a running game, and they got arguably the most confident quarterback.
The reigning MVP. He's a reigning MVP.
So that'll tell us really where Arizona is, and I think that we've seen Green Bay too. They played to the level of competition this year, but they've also looked like a team that could potentially be in the Super Bowl. I'll take the Packers.
I'm going to take the Cardinals, and I'll tell you why. Because they're 7-0. People are still kind of scratching their head. To me, they're the biggest surprise in the NFL because they're 7-0 coming out of that division, coming out of the NFC West. And I actually think that how can a 7-0 team have a statement game? To me, this is a statement game for the Cardinals. Nationally televised, you're the only game on in town. Huh?
That division, touting that division, this is not before the season started. On paper, you and I looked at that division and said this about that division.
Yeah.
But just like with the AFC West, all that was on paper, you still got to go out there and play the games. And so being 7-0 coming out of that division, it's not 7-0. If Cincinnati or Cleveland was 7-0, then I'm impressed. But out of that division, it's not what we thought it was going to be.
Well, no, you're right there. But like I said, this is possibly the MVP frontrunner and Kyler Murray going up against the defending MVP and Aaron Rodgers in your building. This is a statement game for the Cardinals. I think they realize that. I'm going with Arizona. I think they're gonna win. Sunday's games: Carolina at Atlanta. Hey, Kyle Pitts is starting to get it. You see Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts beasting.
Yeah, I saw that for that reason. I'm gonna take Atlanta and feel like Atlanta might get on a roll meaning a 2-game winning streak.
Gosh, you know what? I'm gonna be with you, but I say that begrudgingly because every time I pick Atlanta to do something, they kick me in the face. But I just think Carolina is going so far backwards. And
you know why, right?
Why?
Because the keys were given to Sam Darnold, said drive this bus, and he pretended like he in a Maserati. That's why. Like literally, they're in these games, but then Sam Darnold does something Sam Darnold does.
Well, they were pathetic yesterday against the Giants.
Yeah. So Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm going Atlanta too. And newsflash: Christian McCaffrey is now officially injury prone. Just want to throw that out there. I'm giving him maybe 2 more years left in Carolina, possibly.
Usage rate, man.
Huh?
That usage rate, his usage rate, and he's not built like Derrick Henry, so you can't just give him. He can't have 50 touches a game. Like,
Nope. They better turn him into Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Miami at Buffalo.
The Bills.
I'm the Bills too, but I said this earlier on the show before you got on the line. I feel so bad for Tua because actually since he's come back from his injury, he's actually played really well.
Yeah, he played well enough to win. You can't stop.
He's done that the last 2 games.
Can you stop somebody?
Right. They've lost their last 2 games with field goals at the gun. Tua's actually played very well the last couple games. I mean, he had a couple of he did have a dumb interception yesterday, but he played well enough to win. And I feel bad for him because of all of the Deshaun Watson shit. And he's had his best 2 professional games since then.
Is it just me, or it doesn't feel like Miami been trying to trade him ever since they picked him? Like they picked him, then a day later they was trying to trade him.
Man, do you remember Tank for Tua in 2019?
Yeah.
And they got the dude, and they have just treated him like garbage. He's got the Rodney Dangerfield syndrome all day. What do I got to do to get some respect? Next game, San Francisco at Chicago.
I'm gonna take San Fran in that one. We talking about that's what shape up, I guess, to be a defensive battle. Mm-hmm. I can't put no stock, no faith, no nothing in Fields. So I'm gonna take San Francisco based on that.
Yeah, I agree. I do. And it's just amazing because of all of the shit that gets talked about the Bears. Somehow, some way, they got 3 wins. But I'm gonna, I'm going.
They have a good defense. They do have a good defense. So.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with San Francisco too for everything that you just said. Pittsburgh at Cleveland, old rivalry.
I'm gonna take the Browns at home. If it were the other way, I might say Big Ben just to stick it to the Browns. But
I don't know.
But then, wait a minute. What's the health status?
That's exactly what I was about to say. And not even Baker Mayfield. This really had nothing to do with Baker Mayfield. Because for some reason, Case Keenum plays well under Stefanski. Remember that magical year in Minnesota he had? Well, guess who his OC was? It was Stefanski. So it's no accident that he's Cleveland's backup quarterback. To me, it's what's the health of Chubb and Hunt? Because Dearness Johnson ain't going to do to Pittsburgh what he did to us. I promise you that.
I got into an argument with somebody about that, about the best running back doing the NFL. And I'm like, he brought up Chubb and Hunt. I'm like, they the mash unit right now. Like, you don't see Pollard and Zeke having to take games off. That's all the difference. Like, yeah, they got us by a few yards, but their health is never really in question.
Well, Hunt and
right
Chubb's
now,
health really ain't been in question neither. It just happens to be this season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You can't even make the endless, both of them banged up.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was even debating that back and forth, I'm like, they banged up.
Well,
They're the match unit right now.
Well, yeah, he should have said when healthy. That person should have said when healthy. Because when healthy, I think they.
But when healthy, it's still a wash. Why? Look at the receiving. When you go to receiving yards against each other, the rushing yards is separated by 60, however many yards. The receiving is a little different, but it is what it is.
I mean,
don't think either team is really hurting in terms of that.
Well, I think when healthy, I would have to take Cleveland, and I understand everything you're saying. I just honestly, I think running back, like right now, if you would have asked me, if healthy, if you would have asked me who would I take, Zeke Elliott or Nick Chubb, right now, I'd have to, if they were healthy, I'd have to take Chubb. If I was who's going to take Pollard or Kareem Hunt, I'm taking Hunt. Not by a lot. Well, I'd take Hunt by a lot over Pollard. But I wouldn't take Chubb over Zeke, not by a lot, because Zeke's starting to look good now. He's starting to look like the 2016 Zeke. But be that as it may, because I don't know the health status of, I'm pretty sure Hunt's not going to play, but I don't know what the health status of Chubb is, so I got to take Pittsburgh. I got to take the Steelers.
Yeah, that's why I said with the health is all the difference and location. But I do expect is up and down and left and right as man is look. That's still the Browns.
But the only wild card is which Browns defense is going to show up. Because if it's the Browns defense that showed up against Denver, then I might be wrong by picking Pittsburgh. Because Myles Garrett and Clowney, they healthy. I do know that, but I'm still going to take Pittsburgh because I don't know what their running backs look like. Philly at Detroit, do we care?
Yeah, we do. We do, and I'm going back with the Lions. They got to break through at some point. They played the Rams tough. They played the Rams tough, man. They play hard every week, but it's just something. And
you got a soft spot for the Lions.
I'll say this in terms of that game and Philly, like just when you. On paper, Philly should beat them.
No, they shouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going with the Lions too. No, they shouldn't.
But what we've seen so far, especially with the underachieving defensive unit, I feel like Goff is gonna get off that slide. They're gonna get that W.
I'm actually gonna agree with you. I think Detroit's gonna win this game. I don't know why. I hope I'm wrong.
The Rams front. That they did well dealing with Aaron Donald and them, so I don't see why they couldn't.
Well, I expected that type of game yesterday because I thought the team would rally around Goff, because that was an emotional game. And they were letting the cat out the bag, onside kicks, fake punts. But I think this is going to be Jared Goff's first time winning a game without Sean McVay. I just think that's going to happen. Because people keep throwing that stat out there, and that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. It is. But I will say this on the other side of the fence, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it until maybe in a playoff situation, Stafford will show me different. Not saying Stafford's not better than Goff, but my question is, do you feel that much different about the Stafford Rams than you would have if Goff had stayed? They probably would be in a similar position.
Well, that's that. I've been saying that the whole time. To me, you have to win the Super Bowl because Goff got you to a Super Bowl. If you don't win a Super Bowl, then you've accomplished nothing by trading for Matthew Stafford.
Cooper Kupp putting up similar yards that Goff would have had him put up. Robert Woods, same thing. They're no different. I don't feel any different. In terms of that Stafford elevated them. It may come to be that at some point, but right now I just really haven't seen it. Those game-winning situations, I can envision them with Stafford in Detroit. I haven't seen that yet in the Rams, and I guess that's why they made the swap for the older quarterback, that Stafford's more clutch, because they certainly wouldn't have said that just overall he would have guaranteed us a Super Bowl. So I don't know, but we'll see. I take the Lions, though.
Okay. Next game, big AFC South game. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Who you got?
I think Indianapolis stays on a roll.
I agree. 100%. They're starting to figure it out. And that defense is real, though.
It always has been. I just don't know why they were struggling, early, but it always has been. Like on paper, when you looked at their team, the Colts are pound for pound as good as any team in the league.
Okay.
Especially in the trenches, their front seven, and then their O-line. So.
All right, well, we both agree. Indianapolis. Next game, the number 1 seed in the AFC, Cincinnati Bengals. They go to the Meadowlands, the swamps of Jersey, to play the Jets.
Yeah. See them gimme games. them gimme games. Oh,
The
God.
Jets with no Zach Wilson. No Zach Wilson, too.
Yeah. Like, why even play it? Like, what's the point?
Well, I agree. Even though Chris Berman says that's why they play the games. But, yeah, Cincinnati's going to keep rolling. Next game. Those 6-1 Rams. They go to Houston to play the Texans.
Again, like, why even play? I don't want to hear nothing about soft schedules and all this other stuff, because these are like just gimme games.
Bro, Tampa Bay has the weakest schedule in the league.
They just gimme games. Like, yeah.
But yes, okay, so we both agree the Rams keep that train moving. When is Tyrod Taylor coming back? That's what I want to know.
I have no idea.
I didn't think he would be out this long.
About that strength of schedule thing. That's been a thing with people for the longest time. You win the Super Bowl, on paper, theoretically, percentage-wise, you should have the toughest schedule, but you can't predict what happens in the off-season. Teams make moves, yada, 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 and then, you can't do them but play who's in front of you. Because some of these teams that we're talking about are like just terrible bottom of the barrel. They weren't expected to necessarily be that. And some of the teams that are better than what we expected were
like Cincinnati.
To be that. So
like Cincinnati.
I understand that you can only play who's in front of you. You can only play who's in front of you.
Okay, so next game, New England at the Los Angeles Chargers.
I think Herbert, I don't want to call him A-Bear.
Bobby A-Bear. 90s Falcons.
I can't help it. Jerry Glanville. Wasn't it Jerry Glanville?
Jerry Glanville. Yeah.
Jerry Glanville.
No, that was Chris Miller.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Herbert, they got embarrassed last week. They won't this week.
All right, we're going to disagree. I'm picking the Patriots. I don't know why. I really don't. But something is telling me New England's going to win this game. I don't know why. I have no reason to pick them. I'm just a gut feeling. Jacksonville at Seattle. How do you look at that game if Geno Smith is starting?
Still Seattle, because they have a system, and Geno showed me enough grasp of that system to feel like they can beat the Jaguars. They should beat the Jaguars. You're not gonna get anything amazing from him, but I don't think he'll lose the game for him. And even though Seattle's defense is terrible, and yes, Jacksonville may very well hang 35 on them.
Yeah, They on upset alert.
I still think that they have enough still system role players in place around Geno Smith that they should win that game.
Honestly, I'm gonna begrudgingly pick Seattle because I think Seattle should be on upset alert. To be honest with you, honestly, I really do. Seattle's defense is that horrible, and Trevor Lawrence is getting more confident by the game. They finally got a win. I'm going to begrudgingly take Seattle because it's in Seattle. Next game, Washington at Denver. I'm done picking my team to win. We've nosedived since 3-0 start. Who you got?
I'm gonna say that y'all got a little too much pride to lose to the Washington football team, so I'm gonna take y'all. I'm gonna say it. I ain't exactly confident in it.
I'm not confident. I'm taking Washington. And it's in Denver. I'm taking Washington.
All I'm gonna say is don't let the Heineke, whatever his name is, Heineke, do some magician stuff in the backfield.
Better start putting some.
You'll be okay.
Better put some respect on Terry McLaurin's name. That boy is special. That dude is a beast. Next game.
You know what, Terry McLaurin, you know where he excels, really? Them 50-50 balls.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of his catches, those spectacular. They're 50-50 balls. They could just as easily been picked off if, maybe the defender turned around and looked for the ball or, tracking the ball in the air. But the point is he makes those plays, and that's kind of what you want your receivers that can win those type of situations. And he seems to win more than he loses.
But he's a very good route runner as well. So imagine what he would be if he had, like, a competent quarterback. And I'm not saying Heineke's not competent. To me, honestly, he's a younger version of Ryan Fitzpatrick, to tell you the truth. But McLaurin, he's special, man. He doesn't get the pub because, Washington did go to the playoffs last year, but I don't know. But to me he's very underrated, and he's a very good receiver. Tampa at New Orleans.
Bucks.
Upset alert. I'm picking the Saints. Mm-hmm.
I don't see it, but
division game, division rivalry game. Like I said, Saints have.
I don't think that applies in that game. I think it does. On paper, it applies because they had to say division and always have it, but I don't think it applies in the sense that the majority of the Buccaneers that's going to kill them have no ties other than they wearing that uniform this year. So I don't even think that rivalry thing would even flow through Brown's head.
Why, wait a minute.
Or Fournette's head or Brady's head. They don't care about the Saints in terms of a rivalry.
You have to, because one, they beat you twice in the regular season last year. You did beat them in the playoffs. The Bucs defense, look, they're not all of those guys. They've been there. They've been on Tampa for a while before Brady got there. Jameis playing against Tampa. Think about that now.
That's from that side of the fence. I believe from the Saints side of the fence, yes. But from the Buccaneers side of the fence, Brady, he's one guy, but who is Brady's rival really in his career?
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, so from a division standpoint, I don't think it makes a difference.
Never had a rivalry when he was with
one way or the other. You play who's on the schedule, just another game. I think it would be more on Brady's mind if Drew Brees was still at quarterback.
Well, okay, I can buy that.
Him and Drew Brees, not the teams themselves. But hey, you might be right. Maybe the Saints will get up for that. I just don't. I think from the Bucs standpoint, it's just another game.
Well, like I said, to me, upset alert. Monday Night Football. Oh, the Giants at the Chiefs.
Guess what?
Don't do it.
Guess what?
Don't do it.
I'm going to take the New York Giants.
That is an insult to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going to take the new, and I'm going to say Galladay gets 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not even playing.
No, that's right. He ain't, is it?
No. Slayton may play.
Defense, On their defense, he's still sitting out at the infirmary. Don't get 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. No, I do think. I think that. I think that Andy Reid will get them together for
Are you sure? Oh,
like
you're changing your pick now because Galladay ain't playing?
I was taking a shot at the Chiefs defense. Yeah, I was gonna take the Chiefs anyway. The Chiefs, yeah. I think the Giants will hang in the game because the Chiefs defense is really, really bad. But at the end of the day, I don't know that the Giants defense is good enough to make Patrick Mahomes look like Patrick Mahomes been looking either. So.
Yeah, I'd be more averse to say that's going to be a close game if the game was in New York, but it's in Kansas City. So, yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs. They'll get back to 500, I guess. So let me talk something with you now. NBA started, man. Chicago Bulls.
Oh, you know we didn't pick a game, right? You didn't pick Sunday night game.
Oh shoot! You know what? Oh, you're right. Oh, snap!
Don't skip over that.
Oh, how the hell did I do that?
That's that racist stuff. It's because I'm black, ain't it?
Dallas and Minnesota. Forgive me. Well, duh. I already know who you got, but go ahead.
I think that contrary to what some of your friends who call themselves fans may believe, Dallas fans, I think this is going to be an interesting and tough game. In Minnesota, Jefferson, Thielen, Cook. And every now and then, Kirk Cousins looks like a guy you might want to pay a whole bunch of money to. But he could just as easily look like a guy like you scratching your head. Why give that dude all that money again?
Right.
I don't know. But what's unquestionable is Jefferson, Thielen, Cook.
And Madison. Can't forget about him either.
I'm only worried about those three. Like, the peripheral people, yeah. I mean, that's like worry about Dalton Schultz. That's like Minnesota. We can't forget about Schultz. Well, yeah, he's a good player for us. He's going to catch some balls, but that's not who you really worried about at the end of the day. So it'll be interesting to see which Kirk Cousins shows up. It'll also be interesting to see the Anthony Brown Justin Jefferson matchup.
Cooked.
It'll be Thielen and
Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs. Right. But
you sure they're not gonna have Diggs on Jefferson?
No. It's gonna be Brown. That's it. That Diggs can move around, but the majority of the time, that side of the field, it's always Brown. It's always Brown. So they need to bracket him, and Mr. KZ, make sure you make the tackle. They need to bracket him. It'll be a good test for up front, run defense, slowing down Cook. If we can do those things, we'll be okay. Their defensive side of the ball, Minnesota has a really good defense.
Yep.
But I mean, we played really good defenses this season. We got to run the ball. It's simple. Don't get into the shootout. We don't want to make it to an aerial battle. We want to win that ground game in the trenches. Keep them off the field. We win the game. It's real simple. So I'm taking my boys.
I'm going with the Vikings. Going with the Vikings. I mean, they're at home. I mean, they're one of those teams who's going to be fighting for one of those last 2 wild card spots. Every game is important. So I'm going with Minnesota. I mean, on paper, you guys have the better team, but I'm gonna count on good Kirk Cousins.
Well, the upside to that is Dak has played in Minnesota and beat them in Minnesota, so that's another upside.
I hear that.
This current iteration with Dalvin Cook, the same.
When?
Thielen was there and everything.
When?
Beat him, so.
You talking 2019? Dak didn't play that. Oh, yeah. Yes, he did. Oh,
yes,
he did. No, wait a minute. Y'all beat them last year, right? Y'all beat them. Yeah, y'all beat them last year. Dak didn't play. Y'all beat him last year.
I know Dak has played in them in Minnesota and beat them, though.
Okay.
It was the previous year.
Okay. No, it couldn't have been the previous year because y'all ain't beating nobody with a winning record. The previous year, Minnesota went to the playoffs. And y'all, that was the year where y'all were 8-8. Y'all literally beat nobody with a winning record. You know what I'm talking about. But okay. I mean, you're going your boys. No surprise there. I'm picking the Vikings. So we shall see. I mean, for whatever reason. I mean, logic would tell me go with Dallas. But Minnesota has actually played pretty good. They got some bad breaks at the beginning of the season. But Kirk Cousins has actually played really well this season. And that if it is Thielen versus Diggs, that's an interesting matchup. That's because Jefferson will cook Anthony Brown. And I think you know that.
That's why I said they got to bracket him. They have to bracket him because Anthony Brown is a PI waiting to happen or a big play waiting to happen. And that's why I can't wait for Boss Man Fats to get on the field. That's another reinforcement that's coming back. So we can see what we got with him.
Okay.
But Brown,
Okay.
Nope.
Well, now I can get it.
But on the flip side, their cornerbacks versus Amari and CD.
And see, I don't know if Patrick Peterson is going to play because he came up hobbling at the end of their last game. Now, they did have a bye week, just like you guys. But I don't know if Peterson is going to play. He'll be a question mark.
Have fun with that one. Gallup's still I think they projected 2 or 3 weeks away. Most likely 2 weeks away. So we'll see. We'll see what impact that dude has. I don't know what we're going to end up doing with that dude, but if you make a legitimate Super Bowl run, you can't trade him.
Oh, y'all gonna get rid of him because y'all got Cedric Wilson. Y'all gonna get rid of him.
No. Cedric is nice and Cedric has stepped up, but Cedric is not Gallup. Gallup is a 1,000-yard receiver, and he's a legitimate deep threat. Them 50-50 balls that your boy catches, and Lauren Gallup catches them 50-50 balls. You can throw it up there, and he'll just go get it. You can't get rid of that kind of guy. He's the number 2 receiver. It doesn't matter what CD has been doing. Gallup legitimately was the number 2 as well. But they're different kinds of players. One is give him the ball at 5 yards, and he can break it for 80. That's CD versus somebody that can run and catch you one for 80, which is more Gallup.
Okay.
But we'll see. Any way you look at it, it's a good problem to have, I guess.
Okay. Well, look. Okay. Well, now I can get into it. It's basketball season. Chicago Bulls.
I'm gonna tell you this. One. I'll break it down for you. The Bulls are going to be a really good team this year, but here's the but. At some point, they're going to have to move a piece or pieces and get legitimate rim protection. I understood what Donovan was trying to do. I think I told you what Donovan was trying to do with the players that he acquired, trying to boost the offense around Zach LaVine, and also take the ball out of his hands, as a primary ball handler to open up more scoring opportunities for him, which he's done. Bench depth, which he's done. Long, athletic players, 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", with long wingspans getting to the passing lanes, which is why the Bulls got so many steals this year so far. All that's great and well, but because you don't have that rim protector, because you don't have that other than Alizé Johnson, he's a hard-nosed, type dude who rebounds strong. Vucevic rebounds, but he's not what you would call a dominant rebounder. That means your guards, your forwards, small forwards, they have to be extremely active on that glass. It can work. It can work. From what I've seen from especially that second unit led by Caruso, who that dude was really underrated. People thought he was a bench warmer type dude at the Lakers, but I think, in my opinion, they should have maybe let THT or somebody else walk and kept Caruso, But what do I know? I'm happy he's with us. Like I said, this next 5-game stretch will be a telling thing because we got a murderer's row. After Toronto, I don't consider Toronto. We played Toronto on the road tonight. I don't think they're part of that murderer's row. But after that, we get the Sixers, we get the Celtics, and so forth. So we'll see where they really are. But they're trending upwards, no matter what. They're trending upwards because they're a distinctly different team than they've been the past several years.
I think the Bulls are trending upward. I don't really get locked into basketball season until after football season is over with, even though amidst all of the drama that is now infiltrated my Los Angeles Lakers, we won last night because of Carmelo, not because of LeBron, AD, or Russ.
I got an opinion on them too, which I'll get into, but go ahead.
The Eastern Conference should be interesting. I mean, because we all want to summarily give it to Milwaukee and Brooklyn, and that may be how it ends up. But I think there's going to be a log jam towards the middle and the bottom. Now, could I see the Bulls being a top 4 team? Maybe. I mean, my Brooklyn, Milwaukee. I have to look at Miami, Philadelphia. I think Boston is actually going to take a step back. I actually do think that's going to happen. New York, I think New York is going to be better. I don't know what happened to them last night against the Magic, but I actually think New York and the Bulls are going to be right. They're going to be right near each other. I see them right around that 4 or 5 line. They might be the first round matchup, a 4 or 5 first round matchup. Bulls and the Knicks. But like I said, I don't truly get invested until after football now, but I will say this. Look out for the Warriors. Look out for Golden State. Because I think once Clay gets back on the floor and Wiseman, look out. The Lakers are going to have to, it's going to take some time for the Lakers to figure it out. You have to really experiment with lineup changes. You're going to have to experiment with lineups because you got to figure, this is why a lot of people said that Russell Westbrook wasn't a good fit because of the style of play that the Lakers do. But like I said, what they're 1 and 2, I'm not, going to panic. Now, like I said, I don't know what that was with Dwight and AD. But 82-game season, I'm not panicking after the first 3. I'm just not. But I would say look out. I would just say look out for the Warriors. Look out for the Warriors.
Here's what I'll say about the Bulls Knicks. If we play them, they're game 2 or 3 of that what I said murderer's row. Mm-hmm. They're game 2 or 3 of that, so we get to see that. But in terms of Western Conference, in terms of the Warriors, Warriors got a lot of talent. Their style of play they score a lot. They always play that frantic, getting the passing lanes kind of defense. So anybody that didn't think that they were going to be in the Western Conference picture don't really watch basketball and know the game anyway. So there's that. And they found another scoring option in Poole.
Yeah.
So there's that.
They're a good mixture of youth.
With Draymond's game kind of, falling apart at the seams, they kind of make up for that with another name.
Well, they're a good mixture to me of youth and veterans. To me, they have a good mix of that.
Right. Now, in terms of the Lakers, I said it before. I'll say it again. I said it exactly what you said about chemistry and lineups and this, that, and the other. Problem is, the Lakers don't have any youth. They have no youth.
None.
They jettison all their youth and their foreseeable youth for the current iteration of that team to satisfy LeBron. Russell Westbrook and LeBron on the floor at the same time never would work. It never was going to work. So you weren't going to get, on paper when you saw the names, you weren't going to get the Russell Westbrook that still, even as at his best, never won anything. But you weren't going to get that guy simply because that guy needs the ball in his hands to be that guy. When you see LeBron James bringing the ball up the court and Russell Westbrook is on the floor, that's an indication that that's not working. Rondo's chemistry with them actually works a lot better.
Way better. Way better.
Now, shooting is an issue. They'll get better slightly because Wayne Ellington will ultimately be on the floor. And maybe that unit with Carmelo, who accepts his role.
Yes.
Does not have to have that ball in his hands to be effective.
Carmelo's not going to be a problem. I'm not worried about him.
But it's the other people that you having this thing with, and you Russell Westbrook again. You want him. He wants to get into the lane. You can't be in the lane. LeBron likes to be in the lane. AD likes to be in the lane. It's I just, because of that, and because of not having those young legs, I think load management is going to catch up with them. And I think that if they get any injury, they're done anyway. But I think the teams like Phoenix, and Phoenix kind of showed that.
Yeah.
And Golden State showed it too, to a degree. Run. Just run. No, don't give them no half-court opportunities. Don't let them. We're not going to have that kind of game. We just going to run, because AD can't even do that run style. Oh, yeah, on a fast break, he can do a pull-up three or, whatever. But 60 minutes, neither him, no LeBron, no Carmelo, no none of them dudes on there. They don't want that smoke.
Well, I said this when I saw all of these free agent names being signed. I reminded you of the 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers. Remember, they signed a bunch of names: Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and it wasn't working by trade deadline, and they shipped everybody's ass up out of there. Do not be surprised if there's any issues come trade deadline that all of these guys who sign these one-year contracts, they will get traded.
I don't see it working, man, because it's too much in the West. Them teams run, and they go keep running because they know that's an Achilles heel. Well, that's their style of play. They don't care about the Lakers. That's how they play in the West. And it's even the teams with Jokic. Jokic likes to run.
And even though he looks like a sack of potatoes, yeah.
Yeah, they like the Jazz, all of them. That's what they like to do. They don't like to settle in. Can they play a little half court? Yeah. Do they like to play? No. They like to run, pull up threes. That's what the NBA is now.
Yep.
Pull up threes. I'm sad. I don't know who I was watching. I watched 3 different games at different points because they were doing a live look in. Tell me why I'm looking at people and they got a 3-on-1 fast break and somebody stopped to pull up to shoot a 3.
God, I hate that. I just really do. I know. I hate that. I really, really do.
They hit the 3.
They better.
And you gonna pull up for a 3?
Man, I used to see that's the shit I used to do on video games, but now that's reality. Oh my goodness!
So I don't see it like I'm just saying they're not my favorite to come out of the West, and I just think that I don't care how much they don't have enough players that they can effectively enough youth and bench depth that they can effectively load manage their main guys, and if you can't load manage LeBron and them, then at their age, they're going to either be worn down or they just, especially with AD, he an injury, he's going to get injured.
Yeah, his check engine light comes on every season.
Right. So, I don't see it.
I mean, as a Laker fan, I have to be real. As a Laker fan, I'm realistic of why we won the title in the bubble, because we had 4 months off. We had a whole off season off. Everybody could get healthy. And then you just go into the bubble for a little 10-week period. Yeah. But if
they should have taken the Warriors approach with trying to mix the youth with the old, because it's just AD alone, especially a guy that can't stay healthy, his youth is negated by the fact that he can't stay healthy young. So as he gets older, that check engine light gonna be more frequent. They could have gotten other pieces, I think better pieces, because when you got Kyle Kuzma trolling you on Twitter, that's not good. And he been trolling. I'm not saying he the best dude, but you could have gotten something maybe better for him. And signing all these insignificant names, yes, Russell Westbrook is an insignificant name. not help their cause.
And on another note, good Lord, Ja Morant is special. That dude put on a show last night. The Lakers won the game. He won the night. Maybe outside of Carmelo, Ja Morant is sensational.
Yes. I just agree because in comparison, I was gonna say, Ja Morant can have them nights, but other nights he just, he's like Trae Young. Like on certain nights, Trae Young can be, a monster. Then other nights, you feel like maybe they should have just went ahead and led the backup play. I don't know if Ja Morant has those nights, but I don't know that he's significantly better than Trae Young.
Well, I think he may end up proving to be the better pro than the guy who was drafted before him, Zion Williamson. You see, Zion? You seen Fat Boy?
Yeah, I seen Fat Boy. Here's the trip part with Zion though. I just think that was bad. It was bad. I don't think he ever really wanted to go there in the first place. He didn't want to be drafted by them in the first place. And that franchise is dysfunctional. It is. It's
and I guess being a professional doesn't matter anymore, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't. These guys are still young, and yeah, you're right. They're supposed to still, and from Zion's thing, yeah, it would be keep their weight down, go out there, perform every night, and then play out your contract, and then go wherever the hell you want to go.
Right. Because all of his injuries are lower extremity injuries. It's not a coincidence with the style of play that he has. Him being that weight is going to cause the injuries.
But if you're gonna pick on Zion Williamson, you gotta pick on Bagley. What's his problem?
I forgot that dude was in the NBA. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
You gotta pick on now. I'm gonna tell you something low key. Remember I said this. Low key, the Bulls have been exploring trading something for him. Maybe a bag of chips and Troy Brown Jr., Derrick Jones, something, couple second round picks or something. But they've been kicking the tires on Bagley.
I really forgot Bagley, and I know he's with the Sacramento Kings, but he's done nothing.
Yeah, he's done nothing, and he's gotten a bunch of DNPs.
Yeah, coaches' decisions.
Right. So they're kicking the tires to see maybe if Donovan could get something out of him. Because we need that size. But ain't nobody giving up a whole lot for that dude because I don't know what that is. I don't know.
The most thing Marvin Bagley's done since he's been in the NBA is try to have a rap beef with Damian Lillard. Like, that's it. That's all that he's done.
That's why I said if you're gonna talk about Zion, you gotta talk about Bagley. I feel a little bit better about Zion than I would trading for Bagley though.
Oh yeah, look. Zion averaged 28 last year. He did. I mean, he had historic field goal percentage numbers, stuff that Shaq and Wilt didn't do. I actually love his game because he's not forcing the 3-point shot now like everybody else wants to do. But his conditioning is what worries me. I think his conditioning is going to be the difference of him having 5 to 7 all-star years, with a lot of them being based on popularity, as opposed to having 10 to 15 all-star years, because by the time he's 30 years old, he's going to be too out of shape, or his knees are going to be shot because of the style that he plays in, because he does not keep himself in shape. I don't give a damn where you want to play at. These are athletes. They are independent contractors when it comes to taking care of their body, and he got to do better. Straight up. He got to do better.
I have a question for you about, I just thought about something in terms of your Lakers. When I was saying their decision-making off-season with player acquisition, why exactly did they not go ahead and pull the trigger on Buddy Hield?
That's a jacket that LeBron James has to wear, because Pelinka had the deal set up. It was a go to get Buddy Hield, but LeBron and AD said, nope, we want Westbrook. So if this doesn't work, this is firmly, LeBron tries to skate out of everything. He can't skate out of this because the Buddy Hield deal was there. It was there to be done. And LeBron and AD said, nope, we want Russ.
Yeah, that's the move I would have made.
That's the move I would have made too.
Like younger, get youth and
a shooter
right away. Exactly, floor spacer right away.
Yes. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Russ. I mean, Russ. I've said this consistently that my favorite player post Kobe has been Russell Westbrook. But as far as the style of what the Lakers do, I was when they traded for Russ, I was like, okay. I was like, so this means we're not getting Buddy Hield? Because I wanted Buddy Hield. I did. So if this does
throw that out there because that was out in the wind, and I looked at that immediately, and I was like, come on, I said the same thing. This had to have been LeBron veto because none of it from the basketball sense made sense.
None of it.
None of it made sense.
You wanted another star. You wanted another star. You wanted another quote-unquote superstar name. I mean, now look, like I said, it's just 3 games, and I'm not panicking. But even when it first even when the Buddy Hield thing first came about, I was like, no, you got to make that deal. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll see.
Yeah, well.
Who knows? Maybe they can pull something off where they trade some of those 1-year contracts. Maybe we end up getting Buddy Hield anyway. Who knows? I don't know.
For expirings, I don't know that will work.
Hey, look, I know
NFL, that would work. In the NBA, I don't know that works quite as effectively.
I can have wishful thinking.
and a lot of them guys, they don't. See, here's the other half to that. Do any of them guys put in no trade clause in their contracts, them 1-year deals?
I mean, I'm thinking about Kendrick Nunn, Malik Monk, Trevor Ariza, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard. All of these guys are Rondo. They're all 1-year deals. Wayne Ellington, 1-year deal.
Yeah, but the problem is half of the guys you named actually are either decent rotationally or are going to contribute. They're going to contribute. People like Dwight Howard, you don't trade Dwight Howard.
No, you're not. No, you're not going to trade Dwight Howard. No.
Now you trade Dwight Howard if you're dumb and you let AD call the shots because he just can't stand Dwight Howard. But advice, AD, you want to keep your unibrow intact. Don't put your hands on Dwight because I do believe people shatter your ass. Rondo, same thing. Well, okay. You know, like something a fan said.
Yeah.
In a fan's face with a little gun motion.
Yeah.
I would have slapped your hand too.
Yeah. I thought Rondo was out of pocket for that. He really was. I mean, just putting his finger in his face, gun motion. No, honestly, no. I don't blame the fan for slapping his hand out, slapping his hand out the way. I mean, I'm sure the fan probably said something out of pocket, but, you get security. All right, get this dude up out of here. You, as the athlete, nah. Rondo was out of pocket for that.
But these peripheral guys that you picked up Lakers and this thing, again, look back to Alex Caruso. You are a Laker fan. You got to see the dude firsthand. He was a spark plug for you off the bench. For the contract that we gave him, the Lakers couldn't give him that contract?
Nope.
They could have.
Of course they could have.
They could have.
I mean, think about it.
If they pulled that trade for Buddy Hield, they wouldn't be paying Russell Westbrook money.
There are only 3 players left on the Lakers from last year's squad. LeBron, AD, and THT. That tells you all you need to know. That tells you all you need to know.
They could have kept him and legitimately, and I ain't trying to be funny. At this point, based on what you see, he should be the starting point guard.
Oh, Caruso?
Caruso.
Well,
should be your starting point guard.
Well, he's playing well. You
could have got Hield, but you knew this guy. He's playing well, but this is what that guy brought when he was with LA.
Okay. Well, you gonna start him over Lonzo?
Am I? No, because Lonzo was better. But what I'm saying is, when they take Lonzo off the floor and put Caruso on, defensively there's no drop off.
No, there's not.
Offensively, they're different. but defensively there's no drop off. But Caruso can competently run the offense. I've seen him do it. So if he was doing it with us, then certainly he could have did it in a situation, especially where he's splitting the ball handling with LeBron anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
he don't make bad plays. He always hustled to the ball. So I mean, and he's young. That's the thing I never got with everybody that plays with LeBron. You gotta have this long resume, otherwise he kind of shits on you instead of trying to elevate your game. With stuff that's already there. Like,
outside of THT, because the Lakers
of talent, you're supposed to make him better. You're supposed to pull more out of him, not just ship him out of here.
Outside of THT, because for whatever reason they will not let him go. But you know what that does? This is why when LeBron leaves a team, this is why the cupboard is always bare. Because when LeBron leaves a team, you have nothing but old fogies on there that LeBron wanted. And, once you leave, you're totally stuck in rebuild. That didn't happen with Miami, but it happened twice with Cleveland.
No, it ain't happened with Miami because Pat Riley too damn smart to let it happen.
No question.
But other than in Cleveland, that's why I lost respect for LeBron. You win 60 games back to back. Stop acting like you was playing with some scrubs.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. You talking about the first time he was there, right?
They got Antoine Jameson in there for you, and
Ben Wallace and Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep, and you just jump ship like I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I agree.
No respect.
They number one seed 2 years in a row, back-to-back MVPs, and you simply lost to a better team. But that's why I lost a lot of respect, because all of his fans always make it look like, well, LeBron ain't had no help. Hell, you mean he had no damn help? He had plenty of help.
You don't win 60 games back to back.
And it wasn't 60. It was like 67. One year they won 67.
Yeah, exactly.
Mo Williams was an all-star. No, he had help. You just lost. That's
Stop it. And then the move to Miami, I obviously I voted against Miami because
so did
we
I.
know what happened there. We know they led some teams on, their peripheral people, the Bosches, and they led people on into thinking, no, you got a chance to really acquire us. So these teams with jettisoning talent, i.e. the Bulls, getting rid of talent, expecting, well, who wouldn't want to play with Derrick Rose?
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, that story goes completely different if Bosh, say, goes to Chicago.
Well, originally, it wasn't even supposed to be Bosh. It was supposed to be Carmelo.
Right.
But Carmelo took Carmelo took the money from Denver.
Maybe Carmelo gets a ring, because if Carmelo goes to Chicago and LeBron still goes to Miami, then both beat Miami, because they were already on the verge of beating Miami, even with the big three. So
yeah. Well, if Carmelo was in Chicago for those years, yeah. If
the Bulls, it wouldn't have happened because Kobe said no. But that's one of the biggest trades that never happened. Because
Kobe to Chicago.
I want to play with Luol Deng, and the Lakers wanted Luol Deng as part of the deal. That's why Kobe didn't end up in Chicago. That wasn't rumor. That literally was the deal that was out.
And here's the thing about it: Luol Deng ended up coming to LA to play with Kobe anyway.
Yeah, anyway. But I get what he's saying. Why? That's a big addition by subtraction.
Oh yeah.
No. And arguably Luol Deng was the second best player on that team. So I get what Kobe was saying. In terms of that. Addition by subtraction.
I always thought that 2015 Bulls team should have won a title.
They were good. At the end of the day,
because to me that team was better than the MVP Derrick Rose squad, because you had gotten Pau Gasol and Jimmy Butler had turned into an all-star.
I blame the Derrick Rose situation on one person and one person only. That's Thibodeau. You're running your horses 48 minutes and you got a 25-point lead. For what? In the fourth quarter, with 4 minutes left, you got Derrick Rose on the floor up 25.
No, that's what he's gonna do with the Knicks.
That's exactly what he's doing with Randall. And look at that box. Look at the box score. 40 minutes, 43. You know.
Well, the first game was like a double overtime game. I understand. I kind of get that. But I'm talking about the Celtics game last week.
Man, Thibodeau don't believe in load management.
No, you know what?
Load management is you get 30 seconds in between, on commercial timeouts. They go load management right there. That's it. So he ran them into the ground, and that's why they didn't win. Beyond that, when Rondo got hurt, because they should have advanced further, but Rondo got hurt. They were up 2-0.
Oh yeah. When they were the 8th seed on Boston, that's when they had Dwayne Wade. Oh yeah, they should have won that series.
Yeah. So it's been hit and miss. Hopefully they hit now. But just in general, it's too early to tell anything in the East. But in the West, I think the West is going to be very similar to last year. I don't think it's going to change much other than I'm being prophetic in certain aspects because people forget there were key players out in last year's playoffs.
Jamal Murray,
and the East, DeAndre Hunter.
Yes, absolutely.
These dudes are impact players,
yes.
So they affect a lot. So you're not exactly seeing the same exact faces, but I think a lot of the teams will still be in that. It'll be in the same order.
I don't see much change from the West. I'm just going to insert the Golden State Warriors in there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Warriors will be in there. The question is, whose place will they take? I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Or will they shoot to the top? They may very well end up being that 1, 2, 3 seed.
They could be. They could be. They're
young enough to hang with those Denvers and Utah. They're young.
Yeah.
So the length of the season and all that, then I don't think it'll affect them. Like you said, they're going to get better. How much? When the Clay comes back 80, even if Clay comes back 80%.
Yeah, he's not going to be 100% till next season.
Right.
Because he's missed over 2 years of basketball. So he's not going to be 100% until the 2022-2023 season. But yeah,
I don't know how to feel about the Clippers though.
I think the Clippers are still going to be a really good team. I don't expect to see Kawhi this year. They're saying he may be back in March. I don't. With the way that dude is wired, I don't expect to see Kawhi this year, unless the Clippers are a top 3 seed. That's the only way I could see it. But then if they're a top 3 seed, that means they did it without him. So then you risk messing up some kind of chemistry. But if the Clippers are below a 5 seed, I don't expect to see them.
You know what I'd like to see?
Who?
Rather than any game short of the Bulls in the finals, I would love to see just sit in the room and listen to Kawhi and Kyrie have a conversation. That's gonna be one of the strangest conversations. Hey, it's gotta be it's Kyrie. That's a whole nother thing. Like the whole nother thing. The fact that Kyrie got the MAGA people rallied around him.
I heard about that shit. Like what? That they tried to storm into the Barclays Center last night.
It shouldn't be surprising. Because any Negro that supports any viewpoint they have, they uplift them and raise them to an unrealistic level. Not real. And same thing with Dave Chappelle with his special. The MAGA people gravitated toward Dave. And I'm like, MAGA people, this Dave Chappelle. Like, you do realize you've been the brunt of his jokes in a lot of cases. But because he's speaking out, because he had those comments about trans people, and that's their viewpoint, I knew Dave was always an intelligent, but they leave out the last part. He's an intelligent nigger. But that's how they're gravitating toward Kyrie, not realizing Kyrie's too forgiving about your redneck ass. But and not only that, Kyrie is different, and we recognize that. We as a people recognize that Kyrie is different, and I mean that in a his mama had greasy hands and he slipped and bust his head on the floor when he was a kid. Just because he's a good basketball player don't mean we don't recognize that dude got some issues.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Don't you
Like,
see the
even
trade
now,
is right there to be made? Kyrie for Ben Simmons. I mean,
Yeah, but that's a bad move if I'm the Sixers. That's a horrible move if I'm the Sixers. Kyrie, just retire. Just retire. Because it's not fair for your teammates. You got Kevin Durant and Harden in these awkward-ass interviews.
yeah, he's left them out there to dry. He's really left them out there hanging.
But they honestly don't like what he's doing, but they can't really. They're trying to stay cool with him, too, at the same time. You know, so, I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair for Kyrie to do this to his teammates. So if you feel this way, bro, just retire.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Milwaukee back in the finals. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we're giving that because there's instability in the East. After Brooklyn, who's the next? Well, the Sixers on paper, but again, they have their own issue. They got their own head case.
Hawks.
Same thing in this case. Yeah, you know, dude, you got paid. They gave you $200 million. Play basketball. Play basketball.
I just look at it like this. If he has an issue with, you know, the anti-vax people, you know, being shunned from work, I mean, the way that I if it were me, the way that I could directly help people is I'm going to take the vaccination, continue to use my platform to make that to make awareness of that situation, and then financially I would take every other game check and find a family that's been affected by it and give them some and donate some money to them. I mean, that's the way that you can really help and spread your message at the same time. I mean, do you think, now come on now, do you think if I'm not able to work because I'm unvaccinated and my bills are piling up, do you think it's going to make me feel better that Kyrie Irving ain't playing basketball? I could give a shit.
Nobody believe that trash. I never believed that trash when he said it. It's just like with the kneeling with the flag thing. I said at that point, if you really wanted to make a difference, if you really wanted to have some impact, why, Sway? After the rest of the week, after you done worked out and practiced for your team, you got all week to go stand in front of somebody's courthouse wherever misjustice happened and go on national TV and say, my name is Richard Sherman and this is, you know, such, you know, what I believe in. Kneeling on national TV before a game, all it was a distraction. That's it. Because that's all that anybody could focus on was the kneeling in that part of it. The cause, no one really cared. Like, no one really cared. It was about the kneeling. You know what I'm saying? And that became the platform that people talked about, just in general. So if you really want to make that impact, how about you go to where said police station? Yeah, you a Kansas City Chief player. Take your ass to the New Orleans, wherever police precinct that this particular cop is under investigation for police brutality, and say his name right there in front of that police station as an NFL player. Do that. Then you have a little bit more impact. You know, at least that's what I feel. But you're right in the sense that Kyrie taking that stance don't make a damn bit of difference.
It don't.
In my life situation or anything like it or anybody else, it makes no difference whatsoever.
None.
You're better off just being honest and say you were anti-vaxxer and that's it.
Yeah.
And the Nets will know how to deal with you. I'm not getting vaccinated, and the Nets will say, okay, well, you're not getting vaccinated. This is the move that we're going to make.
And I'm not, like I said, and I'm not knocking his cause, but that's where he loses me. I don't have a problem with the vaccination, but people are being laid off of work. Okay, so you think people being laid off of work are going to be like, I ain't got to go to work today. These bills are piling up, but Kyrie ain't playing ball, so I'm all right. I could give a shit if you play, because you have made enough money in your life the way you don't have to work again. I don't care about you not playing basketball because you're anti-vax or you have an issue with what's going on. I got to worry about my bills over here, dude. That's what I'm saying. If you really want to help, play some ball. Use the platform. Donate some game checks to some families that really need it. That is how you can really effectively help. But anyway, bro, let me get out of here because I'm getting ready to start making my kids some dinner. Oh, you know I could do this.
this might seem like a asinine thing, but I really wish all the major sports league would just make it mandatory globally and just call it a day. Make it mandatory. You don't like it, then you're forfeiting your game checks. The teams have a right to, not pay you, blah, 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 blah. Because it's a bigger picture thing. It's not, it's a bigger picture thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think and I've said this. I've been consistent on this. I said, I am pro-choice, but I believe if you're a professional athlete because of your job duties, I believe you should take the vaccine. That's all.
And you should not have the rights that the vaccinated people do. Every single right that they have, you forfeit some of those rights because of the situation. I watched that part of the Colts game, and I'm sitting here, and the only thing I could think about was, what if his entire offensive line is vaccinated, Wentz isn't? You know what I'm saying? What are they thinking when they're in the huddle with him? It's a big pick because, they're vaccinated. They may not get deathly ill or kill any members of their family, but bam, because he's unvaccinated, he may transmit it to them. Now they're missing games, losing money, or they become, positive because of Wentz. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. It's an awkward situation, but if you're a professional athlete, that just needs to be what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
And the military people, same thing with the military people. That it makes even more sense with them because I'm former military, was in the Air Force. When you enlist, you get a cocktail of something like 15 different vaccines. For those people that are in the military railing against that, you got that when you enlisted. Why you having a problem with it now?
Right. Understand. But bro, till next week, always good rapping with you.
Yep.
So I'll definitely hit you back and we'll see whose picks was right and whose picks were wrong.
Okay, be cool.
All right, brother.
Later.
My man Tony. When we get going, we get going. And we're back to normal with Sports Plus Life, at least since the football season has started. But with that being said, where the buzzer. Another good day of healthy sports conversation, but I also want to throw this out here to my audience. I just a couple of days ago when I was going to the ABC store to pick me up a little bottle, I knew I had a couple of days off, want to enjoy myself, but I ran into my homeboy, known him for quite a while. His name is Brandon as well, but used to go by the rap name of Shorty B, and dude is nasty. Dude is nasty on that mic. He's still spitting. We linked up, excuse me. We exchanged information, and this is my guy. Like, this dude is legit, and he has a new rap name. He has a new name, No Days on Alert. And he also has this LP that's dropped called Traffic, and it is available at Apple Music, Tidal, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, whatever you want to stream through. Listen to my man, okay? Listen to my homeboy, No Days on Alert, Traffic, okay? Listen to it. I've already listened to a few tracks, and they are dope. And maybe, perhaps, we'll link up and do a couple of tracks. We should have did a couple of tracks together a long time ago, like real talk. I do more of, I told him, I said, I do more of the podcast now than I do the music, but, I'm always down. Somebody wanted to do a track with me, I don't have a problem with that. That's cool. But I definitely am going to have him on this show as well. So, if you listen to this, bro, whenever you want to come on, the invitation is always open. So again, listen to that music. No Days on Alert, Traffic. Again, Apple Music, Tidal, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, available on all of those stream services. So definitely give it a listen, give it a like, and bang that shit. That's my dog. But anyway, this is your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. This is another episode of Sports Plus Life. If you have not hit that like button, definitely hit that like button and that subscription button. Become part of the Sports Plus Life family. Yo, Black and Gold, Springer family. It's almost time. It's almost time to link up. We almost up here. We almost here. We almost to that day, November 5th. Less than 2 weeks away. I cannot wait. I'm gonna be there front and center with my boys, and we are gonna have us a good time. But until then, Sports Plus Life. Your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. I'm out this bitch. Love y'all, man. Peace.